The base layer is very thin. Just as in a diode, a depletion region forms at each PN or NP junction. This forms a barrier to current flow until the junction is forward biased. Because the base layer is so thin, the electrons and holes fly right through the base into the collector. Bipolar transistors are used in all frequency ranges from DC through UHF and microwave regions. Transistors are packaged in a wide variety of case styles. The ratio of collector current to base current is called the current gain, or beta. For instance, if the base current is 1 milliamp and the collector current is 100 milliamps, the beta is 100. The ratio of collector current to emitter current is called alpha. For instance, if the emitter current is 101 milliamps and the collector current is 100 milliamps, the alpha is 0.99. The alpha cutoff frequency is the frequency at which the current gain of the transistor decreases to 0.707 times the gain at 1 kilohertz. The alpha cutoff frequency is considered to be the upper limit of a transistor as a common base amplifier. The beta cutoff frequency is the frequency at which the current gain of the transistor in the common emitter configuration decreases to 0.707 times the gain at 1 kilohertz. What is the alpha of a bipolar junction transistor? The answer is C, the change in collector current with respect to emitter current. In figure E6-1, what is the schematic symbol for a PNP transistor? The answer is symbol number 1. Bipolar transistors are current devices, and field effect transistors, FETs, are voltage devices. FETs are given that name because they are controlled by an electric field, a voltage. FETs have a very high input impedance, typically 1 megohm or higher. The junction FET, or JFET, can be thought of as a bar of semiconductor material that acts as a variable resistor. The gazenta is the source, the gazouta is the drain, and the control terminal is the gate. The material that connects the source and the gate is called the channel. A MOS FET is a FET with insulating glass material between the gate and the N-channel material. Here is a schematic of a MOS FET. In the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor known as a MOS FET, the gate is insulated from the source drain channel by a thin dielectric layer. Since there is very little current through the dielectric, the input impedance is even higher than a JFET, typically 10 megohms or higher. What are the names of the 3 terminals of a field effect transistor? The answer is D, the gate, drain, and source. How does DC input impedance at the gate of a field effect transistor compare with the DC input impedance of a bipolar transistor? The answer is C. A FET has high input impedance. A bipolar transistor has low input impedance. Here is a picture of what RF integrated devices look like. Here is a schematic diagram of what an RF integrated device looks like. Integrated circuits, ICs, make up most of the internal circuitry of modern electronics. The most common RF IC used by hams is a monolithic microwave integrated circuit known as an MMIC or MMIC. Circuits using mimics employ microstrip construction techniques. What is the most common input and output impedance of circuits that use mimics? Answer A, 50 ohms. Which of the following is typically used to construct a mimic-based microwave amplifier? Answer B, microstrip construction. Visual indicators and imaging systems are an important part of ham radio, from power on-off lights to amateur television and test instruments. Light-emitting diodes, LEDs, emit light when their p-n junction is forward biased. As free electrons combine with holes, they give off light at a specific wavelength or color. Their color depends on the materials in the junction. LEDs are very efficient light sources. Liquid crystals are long molecules that form a crystalline suspension at room temperature. The crystals form a helical structure that affects light passing through the structure. In a display, there are polarizing filter layers similar to Polaroid sunglasses. As light passes through the structure, the light appears transparent. LCDs consume very little power. LCDs are slow to operate at low frequencies and may be damaged by high temperatures. LCDs are used in a variety of ham radio equipment. A cathode ray tube, a CRT, is a vacuum tube display device found in older televisions, computer displays, and oscilloscopes. It uses an electron beam to write on a phosphorescent material on the inside face of the tube. The electron beam is controlled by magnetic fields generated by external coils. One set of coils moves the electron beam horizontally and another set vertically.